Welcome back to the Yes Mujer Build It podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you talking about Q&A, all your coaching questions that you have for me. I get to answer those questions today. Some of them are about the mastermind because the doors are still open for the mastermind. So I'm going to include questions that I've gotten during Wednesdays with Wendy and questions that have been DM'd to me or I've gotten in the coaches circle, and also general questions that people ask me about all the time. Okay, let's dive in. I'm going to start with one of the questions that I get really often, which is how can we stay consistent with our business when we don't always feel like following through? Right? We all want consistent results. Yes. In fact, if you are a full-time entrepreneur, shout out to everybody who is a full-time entrepreneur, you need consistent results because your bills are probably consistent. Every month you have to pay your rent or your mortgage or rent of the space where you're hosting or housing your business, right? So you have bills consistently. You need to develop a consistency muscle. And what I have found is that people think that the way to develop consistency comes from discipline or comes from feeling motivated. And I'm going to tell you that that's absolutely wrong. You are not going to feel motivated always to follow through. You're not going to feel motivated always to do your business. Even if you love your business, even if your business is something that you appreciate and really love doing and you have a passion for it, if it's a product you're making and you absolutely love the product, or if you're a coach or consultant or in the service industry like me, I coach a couple of massage therapists, people who do actual like spiritual healing work, all of that. That's amazing. Brilliant work. And even if you love the work that you do, it can still be really challenging to feel motivated to do it all the time. I don't feel motivated all the time. I would say probably 30 to 40%, I don't feel motivated. So I feel motivated a lot of the time, but sometimes I don't feel like coaching. I don't feel like getting up and doing whatever I have to do, looking at my to-do list, writing an email, creating something, managing my team, whatever it is. And I love coaching and I still don't feel motivated to do it every day. Motivation, guys, is BS. You're not going to feel like doing everything in your business every day. You're also, by the way, not going to feel like doing everything that your job requires of you every day, doing everything that motherhood requires of you every day, doing everything that being a partner, if you're married or you have a partner, doing everything that requires of you in a friendship every day. Feelings come and go. They are part of the human experience. Some days we feel more motivated. Some days we feel less motivated. Some days we are intentional about getting motivated, and some days we're not. Some days we're feeling physically sick. Some days there's more anxiety or stress, right? So if we wait for motivation, we're going to be waiting forever. Therefore, consistency does not come from motivation. It also doesn't come from discipline. And listen, there are some people that are very disciplined out there. I have a few in my programs. I see that. They work out like every morning or religiously 5 times a week. And I love that. And I admire that. And that is not me. That is also not the average human being. The average human being is not disciplined from the perspective of I choose discipline and then I go do it. They have just set up their life in such a way that certain actions become a habit. That is different than discipline. That is actually systemizing your day. And here's where consistency really comes from, guys. Having systems in place that make certain habits easier for you to follow through with every day. In other words, for example, if you are eating clean eating, meaning you're getting rid of all the junk food in your house and you are only going to keep, let's just say, really healthy organic snacks. Okay. It's not about having the discipline to not grab the unhealthy Ruffles potato chips and grab the really healthy organic Trader Joe's potato chips. It's about getting rid of the unhealthy Ruffles potato chips completely, eliminating them from your pantry. So now when you walk into your pantry, your only choice is the really healthy organic option for a snack. That's where consistency lies, guys. That's how we get to a consistent business. Is we get rid of the things that do not serve us. We allow in the things that we do want, and then we create systems, operations, such that we end up following through, such that the action becomes easier for us to grab, right? The healthy snacks become easier for us to grab. The emails we got to work through become easier for us to grab. The social media posts that we need to do become easier for us to grab. That's how you actually build consistency. And one of the best ways to do that, one of the ways that has worked for me in doing that, is being in a program that has structure, being in a program that has some of these walls that hold up the room called your business. I've been in spaces where if it wasn't for the weekly call, I would have let so many things go because I didn't feel energized around my business necessarily that day. But because I showed up on this weekly call, I got the reminder I needed of, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing my business. And maybe even got a little bit inspired or found a system that was talked about that I could then start moving into consistency again. What's great about being in group programs is that oftentimes, when done correctly, a group program is like a train that is leaving the station. And the train in it has structure, organization, usually some sort of recordings or a coach or a buddy or some sort of support system that you can go to get consistent support. This is different than your friends or different than maybe groups that you're in where there's a casual feeling to it. This is direct structure and support. And consistency, right? Hopefully you're meeting on a consistent basis and therefore the train is moving forward. If you get on that train, the train will move you in the direction of your goals. That's it. So what I have found is when I have tried to be consistent by myself, when I've sat with myself and said, okay, Wendy, you're going to get everything done on your to-do list today, that's been a lot harder. But when I've been in group settings where there is a coach that's leading us, and I've told myself, okay, Wendy, we're going to get everything done on this list, and I've had somebody to hold me accountable and some sort of support if I have a question, a chat or somewhere, a Facebook group or something that I can post and ask a question, then I've been more successful. I've actually followed through more consistently. So what I discovered is, along with getting rid of the unhealthy Ruffles potato chips from my pantry, so not allowing there to be things in the space that would distract me or could hold me back or could move my direction of focus to other things that weren't as important, getting rid of or eliminating things that weren't in alignment with my business. Along with that, including and being part of containers like my mastermind that support you with actually moving yourself forward every week is what has worked for me in regards to consistency. Yes. Don't be so hard on yourself. Consistency is actually really hard. You know, there was a study done, I think this was Harvard Business Review, on CEOs and how they spend their time, the top CEOs. And they found that CEOs will work a lot, like 3 or 4 days in a row. So they'll work their butts off, maybe 12 to 14-hour days, 3 or 4 days in a row. And then they'll take 2 days and just be with their family. And they're still working, they're still taking calls, they're still in the ebb and flow of work, but they're not immersed in work. What they found is that they weren't consistently clocking in 8 hours a day. they were either all in on the business, doing a deep dive on the business for 3, 4, 5 days, or doing a deep dive with their family or personal time, and still ebbing and flowing with work, but deep diving into family connection or family time. So this idea of consistency for us, I think we also get to look at, where does this come from? Where do we feel the need to be balanced and consistent? But I will tell you this, one of the things that you do need to learn to do, which brings me to my next question. One of the things that you do need to learn to do is create consistent results. Yes. And it's something that I so want for you, because if you can prove to yourself that you can create consistent results, this is going to calm your nervous system down so much. You're going to start to really believe in your ability to create whatever you want for your life, that you can actually reach your goals. One of the most beautiful things that I see happen in my clients is when they start proving this to themselves through actual behavior changes, through actual hitting the number, through actually doing the thing and actually hitting it out of the park, or whatever you want to call it. I love that process, because what happens is you actually wake up to your own ability to reach your goal, which we all have, but you need to learn that about yourself. So my next question comes from one of my clients in Inspired Action. So she asked, Wendy, what do I need to do? Where do I need to focus to get my first paid client? Yes. So a lot of new coaches, new consultants come to me when they're first starting off, right? I'm oftentimes the introduction to the coaching world, especially for Latinas. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your introduction to the coaching world. There's so many amazing, powerful coaches out there. Yes. And if you can hire a Latina coach, hire a Latina coach, because as Latinas, as women of color, we do actually build differently. Okay, what can you do to get your first paid client? Number one, go out and build relationships. Your first paid client is more than likely going to come from what I call low-hanging fruit, or the fruit that has bared other fruit. So either somebody that's already in your immediate circle of network, or somebody that is 1 or 2 or 3 people removed from your immediate network of people. Why? Why is your first client more than likely going to come from these circles? Because they already know and like you. Yeah. Or they know someone who knows and likes you and trusts you. There's a certain level of trust already there. So more than likely, one of them is going to be your first paid client. Or maybe first client, maybe you're doing some sort of energy exchange or something, and then they become your paid client once you prove to them that you can really do this thing called coaching or consulting, whatever the thing is that you're doing. I actually think the best first clients come from people who refer us to their colleagues or to friends or family members. Maybe not our direct friend, but the person who is one person removed from our direct friend. Yes. I think these are the best first clients because they don't really know us intimately, right? They're not our friend or our colleague. And there's already some trust and likability because they're being referred to by someone who does know us really well. So there's this love already there in the space that you can then open up possibility with. Yes. Okay. So number one, your understanding of where your first client is probably going to come from. It's probably not going to come from Instagram posts. Although Instagram posts are important, you should continue to do those. That's just a longer game. That's going to take some time to build trust and likability online. You should still do them, but you should focus on people you go out and meet, networking events, introductions. So first is meeting people and being introduced to people and being visible to the world, actually putting out there what you do, right? Telling people that you are now a health coach or that you are now a productivity coach or whatever you're doing, introducing yourself back out into the world so people can see the value of what you have to offer. And then, dun, 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 step 2, having people experience your value. Yes, sharing with people your knowledge, sharing with people what you do and why, and how you can help them. So they have to experience your value in some way. They have to see that you actually are an expert that can help them. The best way to do this is free webinars, lives. If you go live on IG or TikTok, you can also go into communities or collaborations with other organizations. I've seen this done with nonprofits. I've seen this done with community organizations. I've also seen people go live together and share their skill set or have a conversation, anything that's going to provide value. Podcasts, great way to get your message out there to the world in a really loud way that allows people to experience your value. Again, you want to have people experience your value, and you want to show up actually giving and providing value. At the beginning, this value is free. We just give it. We give it because we want people to start seeing us as, oh, she's this coach that does this thing, or she's the consultant that works on this, or she's the service provider that I go to if I need a massage, whatever it is. We want people to start to connect our name with the value that we offer. And remember, in the marketing world, it's going to take people, I always say 6 to 8 times. I think there's some magic number, but it takes people like 6 times to even recognize who we are and what we do, what our thing is. Because there's so much we're being bombarded with every day in terms of marketing, advertisement. People want our attention all the time. Why should people focus on you and your attention? So what you really want to do if you're looking for your first client is you want to go out there, just like if you were looking for a partner and you want to go out there and date. You really want to put yourself out there to date potential clients. What I mean by that is show value, go out there and share your expertise, introduce yourself to people, meet people, send emails, start to gather emails, start to do a regular live or a regular workshop of some sort that provides value to a particular audience, and then drop your offer. So people aren't going to hire you if you don't actually say, oh yeah, I work with, menopausal women and help them manage their symptoms of menopause, for example, just an example of a coach that I'm working with. If you don't actually say that to people and then tell them, here's how you can work with me, or here's how to sign up for a discovery call, I would love to support you. If you don't actually say those steps, they're never going to end up on a potential discovery or introduction call with you so that you can move people forward. So you do actually have to make an offer at some point. That is really important. You can't just give value and then walk away. So number 1, reframe the way you're thinking about new clients and start to look at the low-hanging fruit around you, or the people who are 1, 2, 3 steps removed that your friends, family, people who already trust and like you can refer you to, because your first client is probably going to come from recommendations, right? People around you that you already know. Secondly, you want to actually provide value. You have to provide value, or people aren't going to see you as an asset that can add value to their life, right? And there's lots of ways to provide value through social media, through speaking engagements, through podcasts, all of that. And then lastly, you do actually have to make an offer. You have to sell yourself. Yes, you have to actually say what you do and then what your offer is, or at least offer to speak with them about the possibility of connecting. I do that all the time. Probably every day, I will DM 3 or 4 people. Let me know if you'd like to connect regarding my programs. So I just make an offer that I'm here. And if they want to know more about my programs, please let me know. And if they say, yes, I'd like to know more about your programs, then I send them a link for us to talk. 50% of those people. So let's say I send 6 messages a day. 3 of those people will say, yes, I'd like to connect. 3 of them will say no. And then the 3 that say yes, I send them a link. Out of those 3, 2 or 1 may actually click the link and sign up for the call. Let's say 2 of them sign up for the call. Out of those 2, usually 1 will show up. And that 1, I have a 50% chance of them getting into a program or not. But even if they don't get into a program now with me, they become a trusted person who is watching me, right? And is now entered into my community. They're usually on my email list. So then I can move to whatever's next, the next step with them. Sometimes they stay in my community for a year before they actually enter Inspired Action. or the mastermind, right? Before they actually go into whatever's next. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question today on Ask Wendy Anything. So I got a question from somebody who is looking for a business coach and is considering joining the mastermind. Here's her question. I am looking for someone that can really help me organize the different aspects of my business and make decisions. Is this what you do in your mastermind? The answer is yes. This is what we do in the mastermind. And this is not the only thing that we do in the mastermind. So the Get It Done Mastermind is a very unique business mastermind coaching space. It is mostly geared towards entrepreneurs, but it's also geared towards anyone who has a big goal. So a couple of rounds ago, I had somebody who was an executive director for a nonprofit, and her goal was to hit $1.5 million in fundraising for the year, or 2.5 million fundraising for the year. So we worked on that goal. It was a money goal, but it was specific. So yes, absolutely, I can help you organize your business and or gain clarity around the direction that you want to move your business in. This mostly happens, that part of it happens during our one-on-one sessions. So we have one-on-one sessions where I can talk to you about your business from a holistic point of view. I can see your business over the past year, and then I can also see where you're headed for the next couple of years. And from that place of knowledge and who you're being, we can make decisions. We can make business decisions, 100%. Now, we don't spend so much time just looking at like your spreadsheets and looking at your numbers and making decisions just that way, because a core part of the mastermind is you learning to manage you through whatever your numbers are telling you. So we spend time learning being work, learning belief work, learning that who you're being, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your intentions, your vibration of frequency is so important to everything that you do and will actually equal the results that you're looking to get. So more self-awareness, more self-management, which actually is self-love, more integrating into your heart, right? Similar to this thing called heart math, where your heart actually is the deciding factor for your business. It's going to sound crazy to a lot of you because your brain is like, wait, no, I make decisions for my brain, not for my heart, Wendy. Well, one of the things that I teach you in the mastermind is how to make decisions from your heart and integrate your brain. Yeah, because your heart is actually the center of your body. It is more powerful than the brain. It actually has more neuron connections than your brain. What? Isn't that crazy? Yes. Look up heart math. This has all been proven through science. So it's a very heart-centered mastermind. And we do a lot of business coaching also. The places where I do the strategy is really in two places. The one-on-one sessions, you get 3 one-on-one sessions with me throughout the 6 months of the mastermind. And then also in the money room and in the mastermind room every week, there are opportunities for you to ask me questions. So when you ask me questions, that's when people ask me direct strategy questions on coaching in particular. You know, should I move in this direction? Should I move the business in this direction? Should I spend more time doing this or should I spend more time doing that, for example? Woo. And because I've built a business over years and years and years, and I also know you, right? There's a connection there. If you're in my programs, I know you. You're not just a name in a little box in Zoom for me, because I don't have programs where there's like 300, 400 people. And I know you guys have been in programs like that, or you've seen programs like that. I personally have made a choice that I want a connection with each of my clients, certainly in the mastermind. The mastermind is a small container on purpose because I want to hold everyone in their space. Also, I coach a lot from intuition and getting to know you. I can intuitively tell you the direction you need to move in your business, and also what your growth edge is, where you need to go next if you really want to hit the goal that you just told me. I can also read whether or not you're really connected to a goal, or if you're just saying, this is where I think I need to go next for my business, or if you really do want to make that thing happen. I'm really good at being able to decipher, do you really want that thing? Whatever that thing is, to double your income, to create 20 more clients, to sell out your program, to leave your 9 to 5, whatever that thing is, I can support you in gaining clarity around that. Okay, those are the questions that I have time for today, guys. I'm so excited that I got to speak with all of you. And listen, keep sending me these questions. You can always email me questions at hello@wendyamara.com, and I will cover them here on the podcast. And if you'd like to know any information about the mastermind or about inspired action, send me a DM. Send me a DM, or you can also email me at hello@wendyamara.com to find out more information. I do have a couple of trainings coming up. So if you're listening to this live, you got to save the date for a couple of things. One, October 20th, Sunday, October 20th, I'm doing a training for coaches. Yes, for the first time ever, because I've gotten inundated over the last year with so many questions from coaches. I am teaching a course called A Heffa's Guide to Building a Successful Coaching Business. Yes, it's a full day course from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be recorded. It's virtual. If you can't come live, you'll receive the recording. And we're going to cover 4 things that are really important in the coaching industry. We're going to talk about what is transformational coaching and why the industry is moving in this direction. We're going to talk about sales and enrollment, secondly, because sales and enrollment is important. We're going to talk about marketing and branding. And lastly, we're going to talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and how it's affecting the coaching industry. What are the trends that are coming and how you can use it to move your coaching business forward? Okay, so that's specific for coaches. I'm also doing a live event November 17th in LA, my first ever live event on breaking through limiting beliefs around money. I'm so excited for this training. So many of my clients have asked me questions around money. Even clients who are making tons of money are still dealing with limiting beliefs around money. So I've put together a course where we're actually going to have an experience of breaking through some of the beliefs that keep holding us back. Okay, if you'd like more information about any of this, send me a DM. Make sure you're on my email list, and you can also look at my website. I'm sending you so much love, guys. And at the end of the day, don't give up. Keep going after the thing that you want. It is absolutely 100% possible for you to create the life, the business, the career, the family that you want. It just requires you to manage yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, to stay in consistent action. There's that word consistent towards the thing that you want. And then don't give up until you get there. That's it. That's it. And I guarantee you can create it, certainly with help from someone like me. I love you. Keep going after it. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.